Please welcome Senior Coordinator of Meetings and Events for WSWA, Catherine Onko.
Our speaker today is an international grape grower and winemaker in many countries and in both hemispheres, giving him a unique global understanding of global climate change and its effects on grape growing around the world. Being an organic vintner, he has developed unique solutions to overcome our ever-evolving challenges we are now facing with climate change. Please welcome to the live stage, Francois Lurton.
Thank you. A lot of people. Huh? Hello. Bon, as an old member of the family of a family of Bordeaux, I have experienced as a flying winemaker during several years all around the world. A lot of experiences, and I am here today to share with you some of my experiences. So the main problem we have faced in this last decades is global warming. What I witnessed during this period was a change definitely in the grape growing dates and grape growing process of growing. What does that imply? We have firstly an exceptionally early vegetative start, exposing buds to late spring frost, hurting definitely the yield years after years, and increasing cost of the vineyards. With the time, I think we have lost in Bordeaux something like 40% of our yield, and that has created an important increase of cost of all the wine production. The wine production is suffering of this change of weather, but also it's an advantage in some region, very in the north part of the northern hemisphere. We have been able to produce some marvelous vintages due to the global warming. And Bordeaux was producing in the past regularly small vintages due to unripe Cabernet Sauvignon. Now that's never happened. Every year we have good vintages and wines which don't need to stay much longer in bottle like they were in the past. So the global warming is a disadvantage for most part of the world of wine, but in some region it has been an advantage. But the major problem of the global warming is the increase of the temperature and the humidity, which has allowed all the mushrooms, mildew, oidium, botrytis, and also a lot of the insects to develop. And all this new generation of disease is creating also a stress very important for the vineyards. Today, most part of this disease have been controlled by chemicals. Myself, I wanted to avoid this problem of using a lot of chemicals. So I moved my vineyards almost 20 years ago in organic to learn and teach my vines to defend themselves against this new disease. We have developed a lot of techniques organic to improve the organic way of working in the vineyards. And the first is important is to reduce the quantity of water we use. The the water. Ah oui. Sorry, I forgotten to move my. Voilà. The first resource is the water. The water is essential to survive, and the vineyards, they need a lot of water, so we have to control a lot of this water. We have an example of to control this water. For example, in our vineyards in Argentina, as is to put the dripping irrigation in the middle of the rank, under the soil, to oblige the roots to go and catch the water, and also to have a better control of the weed, and and the better control of the growing competition under the vine. We also work a lot on cultivating different type of grass and weed inside our vineyards that we cut before flowering to create a sort of mulching system, which allowed to keep the water inside the soil, the humidity, and also help a lot of to the development of on some interesting bacteria and life elements. The weed control is very important today. It's an element essential to protect the soil also of the sun, and keep the humidity. The other important operation thing for me, and the most important probably, is the compost. The compost is allowed to feed the vine regularly and to maintain your yield, and eventually to being organic, to develop the yield and to make it bigger than in the classic way of cultivating. The compost is also an element which is very interesting, because creating the compost, you capture the carbon, and you bring it back to the soil, where it has in reaction a very interesting. It brings in the soil after that, by chemical transformation, a lot of nitrogen, and this compost also feed completely the vines, and a vine which has a good soil with a lot of life and a lot of nutrients, give very good wines, and very interesting wines in terms of yield and quality. This so for me, it's my base in the work in the vineyards is the compost and the nutriment. Because many people complain that by being organic, they have lost a lot of yield in their vineyards. I am saying that it is true at the start, when you have the change of vineyards during the first 3-5 years. You can lose a lot of, not a lot of, but some yield. After a few years, the vine gets used, is able to answer to the disease alone, to face all the problem on his own, and also the vine, thanks to the nutriment brought by the compost, can develop and be stronger. For example, in Chile, in my vineyards, which are biodynamic for 20 years now, I have today vineyards extremely strong, and producing much better quality than what I had before. With the time, all this process organic allowed the vine to be in a nice condition and not stressed, and slowly by slowly the vine give you back what you give to it. And the vine which has been stressed, you feel the stress in the vat. But a vine which is in a perfect condition during all its life give you marvelous grapes and at the end marvelous wines. So if you want to know about how to create the compost and everything, I'll be available to get in the details of all things later if you want. We have also the big thing now today we are developing is agroforestry. Agroforestry allowed to bring principally humidity and shadow, and also provide shelters and landmarks for predators or for some birds. We have and among all the advantage of this way of working, there is also some disadvantage, which are it's more difficult to pass with a tractor inside the rank of vines. Some of the trees, they compete seriously with the vines, reducing the production of the vines. So, but if you make the calculation in between the advantage and disadvantage, agroforestry today is a very nice way to fight against the global warming and to allow the vine to live in another atmosphere, very natural. Also, if you plant a lot of fruit trees in the middle of your vines, you can have a second harvest of another income through your fruit, which also additionally interesting. The advantage of the trees also, they have a big connection with the roots of the vines and can help the roots of the vines to develop and make vines at the end much stronger and more efficient. Sorry. The last point for me is the use of the resistant grape varieties. Today, the main problem that I have spoken since the start is the development of the disease due to the global warming. And also when you are organic, there is not so many ways to fight against this disease. So to use the new resistant grape varieties which have been developed, there is almost 40 today which have been done. These grape varieties allow to use much less product during the grape growing process. These resistant grape varieties, we use them as already in our vineyards since a few years. We have several parcels in production. There is in France currently 1,200 hectares of vines of this type of varieties which is developed, and special great denomination like Champagne with the Voltis grape, or in Côte Catalane in the IGP Loire. They use more and more of these varieties to maintain new to create new wines which are quite organic on themselves, because we don't use any product to maintain these vines during their life. But that is not the only thing we can do with the varieties. With the varieties, we can work a lot of also on the different varieties that existing already in the world. For example, the Verdero in Spain is a marvelous variety who resists to the drought. Resist to the drought very effectively, producing a nice yield every year with very nice vineyards, without water, in the very deep soils of gravels. This vine grow every year without suffering of water stress. So this variety is an example that I took to explain you, but there is many other varieties which are existing today in the panel of varieties existing in the world that we can recuperate and bring in other regions to fight against global warming and to maintain vineyards in some regions which are too hot or too warm today. Voilà. There is another thing that I have done a lot of in my life is fighting against the sulfur. And working on much less sulfur in my wines. I've been a pioneer in developing without sulfur wines, especially in the white wines. That has given me a high reputation on the Sauvignon Blanc, especially because I work all my Sauvignon Blanc without sulfur. I just put a little bit of sulfur after fermentation. But all the process of protecting the grape with sulfur during the harvest and all that, I took it off entirely. I work with inertis press. I work with trailers with nitrogen. I put CO2 in all my tubes, and I avoid completely the use of sulfur during all the process of vinification in white and also in red. That has brought me to the natural wines, because once you take off the sulfur, you can take off the other products that you bring in the wine, and slowly by slowly, I produce more and more natural wines in all my properties. The problem of natural wines is many producers don't have the hygiene necessary to make high quality natural wines, and there is too many bacteria, expression, aromatic deviation that bring that you find in the natural wines, which are not the true expression of the terroir. Myself, I have a fight everywhere, and I have been participating in the creation of the new rules of the organic wines, obliging the people to produce with very high hygiene to today to have a new generation of natural wines. So I think today we are in the natural wines world like we were in the organic wines 30 years ago. So I believe that in 30 years from now, in the 50s of this century, we will be all naturals. The natural wines are going to be the unique way of working in the future. Voilà, I hope I will have time to live as enough to see this happen. So thank you for having listened to me. I am at the booth 4031, where I offer my wines and some of my wines. So if you want to have a chat about all this and develop it, I'll be available. Thank you.